So here's my question, what do the developers over at VisonaryX have against the apostrophe? I mean, look at this title. If the Dawn in question does indeed belong to the game's protagonist knight, an apostrophe would be required to denote possession. The only way this title would be grammatically correct as written is if it's referring to a dawn that has something to do, broadly speaking, with knights in general. This is obviously very important, because for a few minutes, it was hard for me to reconcile myself to the thought of playing a game with a grammatical mistake in its title. Fortunately, once I got over that, I found apostrophe neglect, while a crippling problem in its own right, it's really the only major issue with this otherwise sweet game. So this works like any other tower defense game. Enemies move from one point to another, and it's your job to prevent them from making that journey intact. You place soldiers along the route at designated points, choosing from 6 different groups, each group using a different weapon. All the action is automated, so it's basically about strategy and management. If your foes breach the endpoint in numbers greater than the allowance per level, you lose. I mean, actually, I lose, and I lose a lot. So obviously this is a pretty standard tower defense game, but what makes A Knight's Dawn stand out are 2 things: the presentation and the pathways. That sounds like some kind of self-help book. For all its grammatical carelessness, A Knight's Dawn is a very pretty game. It uses Apple's Retina display to allow for some really crisp graphics, and what's even more impressive is the art that comprises them. There's a really cool, kind of storybook look to A Knight's Dawn, a fitting style given the game's medieval themes. The color, the detail, everything in this game just looks top-notch. Another interesting thing about A Knight's Dawn is the way the paths wind and twist throughout the levels. It's never a straight, predictable line from start to finish, so the early parts of each level are usually spent learning the paths and how the enemies traverse them, whether they're elaborate zigzags or multi-layered pathways. And it's not like the rest of the game sucks either. I mean, the look and level layouts are definitely its strengths, but the rest of the game is really solid too. You can upgrade your units using currency collected in-game, there are achievements, you can even integrate the game with your Facebook to post results to your wall as they occur. Basically, in my case, that's to show everyone the results you don't want. I had a lot of fun with this game. It works on both the iPhone and iPad, but if you're interested and you have the option, I'd actually recommend playing this on the iPad. One problem with the iPhone version is that the screen is a bit small for all the action you have to manage, so tapping the units you intended to can be a bit cumbersome. And also, frankly, Game Center integration would have been really nice too. But for such a low price, this is a great little game to play on your iPhone. So if you haven't gotten tired of, protecting towers and you don't mind a little apostrophe neglect, A Knight's Dawn is an easy recommendation for iOS gamers.